It was just going to be whether he can deal with the pressure of being the guy, since I would say probably this is the first time in the 450 class that he's been the guy. Sometimes you just show up the gate, you be like, I'm going to win. I'm sorry, I don't even mean no disrespect, but I'm going to win. You know I'm going to win. Your mama knows I'm going to win. Your daddy knows I'm going to win. Your girlfriend, my girlfriend knows I'm going to win. And most of all, you know I'm going to win. By putting parts on, let's just say they triple clamps or steering stems. Yes, you're making the bike more rigid. And if you're chasing the frame and but gussets and all that, you're chasing the frame, yes, it's going to be stiffer. The frame's not going to flex as much. But when you do triple clamps, you do gussets, the problem is that the thing gets really rigid in your hands.
Little James, Bubba.
Induct you in the AMA Hall of Fame.
But Stewart has found a way to redefine this whole race course.
Oh my goodness.
Fastest guy I've ever seen on a bike.
Will win his second world championship.
You can call him whatever you want. He'll still kick your ass every Sunday.
What's up, guys? You know who it is, your boy JS7, and you know where we at. We at the Rewind Show, baby. From Spring Creek, Minnetonka, home of Prince, Purple Rain, home of the old Ryan Dungey. And after this weekend, it might be the home of Chase Sexton, the way he dominated the fools this weekend. So, would he continue that? Because he did. Would Hunter Lawrence bounce back? No, he didn't, but he did his best. But you know what we always do, and sometimes we get a little danger out there. It wasn't me, Haiden. It wasn't me. I didn't think he cut over. He cut over, but hey, I'm glad I ain't racing you because I don't want to have to deal with it. So Chance Hymas, I think he's okay. Haiden Deegan, he's all right. And we saw the first time of the Johnny Cochran's nephew, Casey Cochran, getting this thing done. But Spring Creek people, you know what we're going to do, so let's go ahead and do it. Let's get into it. So coming into Millville, we saw what happened last weekend at Red Butt. Chase Sexton went 1-1, dominating, especially that second moto. The kid's on the roll. Can't really say too much else about him. He's just riding with confidence. And I said all year long that once Chase kind of figured out how to go fast, like he would be fast, like he would, it was going to be different. He was going to figure out how to go fast in a different way. It was going to be that more consistent. And once he did that, it'd be week in and week out. I've been impressed with Chase. I felt like with him trying to, I would say somewhat struggling at the beginning part of the season, you know, with the bike and then just getting the speed. But throughout Supercross season, he just got better and better. And then when he showed up at Paula, I thought he actually looked pretty good. Even though he didn't win that race, he looked solid. And so for me, you can just tell there was something different. He was close to Jet Lawrence, that second moto in Paula. And then we know what happened at Hangtown, that second moto. Dude was just on another mode. The one thing I would say with Chase, the way he looks on the KTM, is that he's more consistent at, I guess, being consistently fast. Like there's no lap times where it's like a 206 and then a 209, or when he's riding it looks sketchy. Yes, the bike jumps around, it moves around, but it looks like he rides more comfortable, kind of knowing that this is going to happen. And that it seems pretty easy for him. And that was even when, you know, he was even racing against Jet Lawrence. Like there was a few motos, like the Southwick. It didn't really look like he was doing anything like out of control. It looks like he got rolling. And funny enough, he's like the number 4 kind of Ryan Dungey. Like once you get in the zone, like once that diesel kind of rolls, it just kind of continues rolling. And Chase Sexton's been doing that. And so for me, coming in this weekend, it was just going to be a continuation of that. Like I saw nothing to say that it was going to be different compared to, I think, with Hunter Lawrence, and I'll talk about him more in a second. I think with Hunter, it was going to be about bike setup, where you knew once Chase got rolling, he was going to continue rolling. It was just going to be whether he can deal with the pressure of being the guy, since I would say probably this is the first time in the 450 class that he's been the guy. Yeah, he had the times with Eli Tomac, and he was trying to wrangle that, you know, new king on the block. But this time, once Jet went out, he is the guy. And sometimes you never know how people are going to react with that and how they deal with it when they race. But Chase came this weekend, did his thing. And when you watch Chase the first moto, I was talking about it on the broadcast, is like, just look how patient he is. You know, like it. Okay. All right, people. I'm going to just give you a little hint side. It's 8 o'clock, Monday. I'm trying to film the show. I got kids in here playing Superman, Smack-A-Man. It's like, come on. They haven't played Superman. Like, it might be the first time ever. But they want to play Superman now. Right outside the door. Right outside the door. They know I'm working. But they don't care. So, if they don't shut up, I'm going to be stewed. I'm going to be on stew list. But back to where I was going. So this weekend, I was talking on the broadcast, when you watch Chase, he looks just really relaxed. Like, there's no sense of urgency. There's kind of a guy who's, I know I'm going to win. Like, I know I'm going to win. And he's doing it in a way that he's being very cautious. Like, he's not taking any chances. Like, the first few laps, it's like he's going out. He ain't going to get the whole shot because he ain't never getting the whole shot. But he's up there. Like, even the starts have got better. But he knows, like, look, if I can see Hunter Lawrence, I'm going to win. That's how he's riding. I'm not saying he is saying that, but that's how he looks. And it's pretty impressive because you just think about Chase has always been the guy with the speed. Like, he's been known in the past, like, Chase was known as he whole shot, you look up, dude's gone. Like, he's gone. You know, he was trying to do that. Like, he did it a few times with Eli. He was notorious, kind of like Ken Roxon a little bit. Like, you let him out front, the dude's gone. Where now, it's like he's the opposite. He's kind of like the Blake Baggett or Ryan Dungey or somewhat like an Eli Tomac in a sense where he goes in beast mode. It's just not that noticeable. So when you watch Chase, it looked like he got out. He saw Hunter out front. All right, cool. All right, Plessinger was there. All right, cool. I'm going to stay back. I don't want to get roosted. Oh, they're kind of pulling away. All right. And the crazy part was, did you even notice that he even went faster? Like, it didn't even look like he went faster. Like, most guys, okay, you're like, dang, all right, dude's picking it up. Like, dude kicked it into gear. It just looked like Chase was like, all right, I'll just go a little harder in this section. Like, I'll just go here, just a little faster in here, cut this corner. And yes, when we saw him at Hangtown, dude was rolling. But I guess my whole point about it is that he looks very consistent at doing it. So it doesn't look sketchy. Now, when I mean it doesn't look sketchy, yes, he makes mistakes. They all make mistakes. He has his moments. He almost died. We always almost die. But his body movement doesn't look like he's trying. And so that's what I mean by, like, when you watch him ride, it almost looks like he's like the locomotive, like Diesel. Like, once he gets up to speed, it's pretty easy for him to get up to speed. And so, like I said, first moto he looked up, oh, Hunter, all right, he's starting to get away. I'm just charging the section. I'm just going to go down this hill a little bit faster than Aaron. Not like beast mode, just going to go down faster. Zoom, bam. Okay, in that same lap, he caught Hunter, like, instantly. Didn't look like he was doing anything. And I know as a rider, you ain't never going to beat the dude like that. Like, I'm just telling you right now. Like, if he's riding in that zone, which it seems like he is, and he's riding in the zone to where I know for him it doesn't seem sketchy. And again, like I said, yes, anyone can fall. Like, any one of these guys can fall. But the way he's riding, there's no pressure on him. There's no pressure on him because, one, and I don't mean like it's because Jet Lawrence out. No, that's not what I'm saying. Because we've seen what he's did, like in Southwick, and we've seen motos where, I mean, Chase was better. I mean, even in the moto at not Hangtown, well, we knew he was better there, but at Mount Moore's second moto, like, he was better and he crashed. But when you watch Mount Moore's and then you watch this race and then even at Southwick, they look different. They look different. And I think the difference is that confidence is growing. And I said last weekend that we were talking on Race Day Live or somewhere that I was like, I actually think what he did at Redbud is bigger than the second moto at Hangtown. And the reason I say that is because when you look at the championship and the guys that he's racing right now, what he did at Redbud, the second moto, it was like he like ran off. And then what he did the first moto at this one was just as big because he passed Hunter and just took off. And it looked like he was real calm. And so the last 2 motos he raced, he got the confidence of, okay, once I get out front, I'm just going to like start rolling and I'm going to be like 30 seconds out front. I ain't never did that. And then, but Hunter got a bad start. So you could be like, all right, maybe the first moto Hunter was pretty good. He was there. I had to kind of try. All right, I had to try. This first moto, Hunter was right there. He wore Hunter out like he was there. He took his time. And then he put 2 laps in, and he went from passing Hunter to 10 seconds in front. 2 laps. There it is. Race. Done. As I said, you ain't never going to beat the dude like that. And so when I mean, like, those last 2 races was huge for his mentality, you show up the second moto, and it was the same thing, except for he was like, I don't want to get roosted this long. And Hunter put up a fight, but the difference was the second moto this weekend, it looked like Chase was really confident in the sense of he was like hanging back. And for guys who's never been at that pro level and racing, and like I've been there sometimes when I was racing Ricky, and he did it to me and other guys did it. But when you're in the position where Chase is and you see the guy in front of you and like, yeah, you're running a good pace, you don't realize how much energy that you're saving when you can catch a guy and then like you just back off of him, and because you don't want to get roosted, and you're so much faster than a dude that you can just ride behind him. You literally like riding like 60%. And when you watch Chase this weekend, that second moto, I guarantee he's around like 60%. Like all the energy that he was saving, like yeah, he was pushing. It's sketchy out there. Whatever. Like we can all swap out and hit the ground, go night. But when you think about his mindset and relaxing his body position, it looked like the dude was riding at 60%. Like, and it's fun. Like, it's fun. It's like fun. And especially when your guy in front of you, and Hunter, it's hard for him because he don't know how much effort Chase is, putting in. Like, yeah, he know Chase got him in the first moto, but he can chalk that up as like, all right, well, maybe he was just getting me in the whoops. All right, maybe I'm better. I'll try to figure it out. No. Chase knows that, like, nah, dude, I'm just going to pass this dude, and I'm a blitz, and dude's done. Dude's making mistakes. I'm watching him. I can go outside. I can slow down. I can go get some popcorn, and I'm going to still be right here. And Hunter, and now you start watching Hunter. He's making mistakes, and he's starting to flounder. He's going outside. And then finally Hunter goes down the start straight, and he goes to the outside. And Chase like, okay, I'll take it. But I guess my whole point about that is Chase, even if he was riding at a level where, Hunter had him on the edge or whatnot, he knows that Hunter can't ride that pace either. And Hunter can't ride that pace as long as he could. But when he's in the spot to where he's like, all right, I know the dude, even if he's going fast, I know he can't run that pace the whole time. You just show up at the gate, you show up halfway through the moto and you're watching it and you're just relaxed. So again, I'll say it for the third time. You ain't never going to beat that dude like that. And he's having fun. You can just tell the way he's riding on the bike. And by him not having to push it, as I was saying, even if Hunter had him at that pace, he's just going to it's a lot easier. So Chase is not even putting that effort in to even get to that point because he knows eventually I'm going to get him. And so it's going to be tough for those guys to beat him. But I will say this. It's going to be on next year. Things can change. And of course, I'm going to talk about one thing that I say if Jet was here, the difference that I would say that would put Chase a little bit more in a tougher spot, because we know that when he's on, he's fast. We know that. Like when he's on, I don't know anybody can beat him. The setup that he's got, track, whatever track it is, once he goes in that mode, like I don't think anybody can beat him. And that doesn't mean that he can't be beat, but once he gets rolling and he gets comfortable, I don't really think anybody can beat him. And I think with that, once he gets in that zone, his bike is set up the way he wants it. He kind of knows what's going to happen. And I think right now with Honda, working on their bike, trying to get it better, we've seen the struggles that Jet had a little bit, and then we see the struggles that Hunter has riding at that pace. I just think Chase is more comfortable on his motorcycle, and it's a lot easier for him to do it than it would even be for Jet. But as I was going to say, if Jet was here, the difference between Hunter and Jet is usually when Jet gets a whole shot, Jet pulls a chase on him. He pulls like the Roxon. He puts guys in a couple laps. He's got a gap, and then he manages that gap. So if he was here, it would be Chase would have to push a little bit harder in the beginning part of the race. I don't think he would have the luxury to say that he could just sit back like he did this weekend. Hunter, usually it takes him a while to get going, and Hunter played a different game this weekend. I believe he played a different game, but just strictly on Jet and the two, Jet and Hunter, Jet gets out, just he's more comfortable going faster, whatever it is, he's easier, and he pulls a gap. So it would make Chase have to push a little bit harder. So if he's pushing a little bit harder, maybe he makes more mistakes, maybe he gets tired. So that would be the difference. But if everything's the same and he feels comfortable, like I said, he's more comfortable going on speed of his bike than I think Honda is at this point. And you could just see it play out. So with this weekend, I really just think it was a huge confidence booster. Second moto, the way he won, that dominating, like knowing that I can dominate these dudes at Redbud, and then the first moto, beating Hunter the way he did, made him know that, okay, the guys that I'm racing against, I'm going to drop the mic like JS just knocked over the mic. And so pretty cool to watch. Give a shout out to KTM and all those guys because, and even Chase, how he started the year. I've talked to Chase a few times, and I've even told him, like, dude, once you figure this out, you're going to be a better rider. Like, and I know it was hard for him at the point when he was going through it because he's always been one way as far as being speed. And when you have that speed, when it's not there and you're working on it and whatever the reason is you can't get there, it's frustrating. But he kept going. KTM kept him up. And after Paula, I was like, hey, you're 0-2. Like, yeah, you lost the first race. This is the first race on the KTM. So you need to look at it like that. This ain't the 12th race or whatever it is that you're racing Jet Lawrence and, yeah, he beat you again. No, look at it as like this is the first race on the KTM, and we were that close. We need to get better. KTM did a good job at keeping him focused in on what he was doing this year and didn't allow him to fall back into the other situation. And just like the 250 class, Haiden Deegan, once you get rolling, sometimes things just play out the right way. And once these guys get rolling, the difference is getting fifth and winning is really up here. All these bikes are pretty good. Like Anderson's bike looked really good. I mean, he looked pretty good when he was flipping down the hill too. And, on his way to the fast lap, but it looked pretty good. But I just think now Chase is rolling in that momentum, and all year, and especially in outdoors, every step that he's been able to go has helped him build to where now it's putting everybody else in the zone where he might be unbeatable when he's riding like, well, no. He is unbeatable when he's riding like that. As I said, any of them can crash. So don't be mad at me and be like, oh, Jay, like, hey, yeah, he failed. Like you said he was unbeatable. Hey, whatever. Like, nobody thought Jet Lawrence was going to go down the hill and come up like 2.5 short. Like, I didn't see that. I was like, whoa. But I didn't think he was like out of control. Like, things happen. So it could happen. But if the dude's in the zone like that, he gonna win. He gonna win. He knows he's gonna win. And sometimes like it's gonna be up to everybody else because they kind of know he's gonna win. Like sometimes you just show up the gate, you be like, I'm gonna win. I'm sorry, I don't even mean no disrespect, but I'm going to win. I'm gonna win. Your mama knows I'm gonna win. Your daddy knows I'm gonna win. Your girlfriend, my girlfriend knows I'm gonna win. And most of all, I'm gonna win. So I'm gonna win. And when dude shows up, when he knows he's gonna win, most likely what he's gonna do? Yes, he gonna win. So that's Chase Sexton. He be winning. All right. Well, Hunter, all ain't lost. Now, he's only a few points back, maybe like 13. And this first race, he showed up in a minute that he didn't have the red plate. Okay. He is a rookie, and we forget that. We forget that because your brother is pretty damn good. But Hunter is doing great. And Hunter will be better next year. I think what Hunter is struggling on, and I talked about it in the race this weekend, is that it just seems like the Honda is a little rigid for him. Like he's a little bit more uncomfortable running that pace. And not necessarily that pace, because I actually think Hunter can run the pace. I just think it's the bike moves, and it's more of that really spiky feeling. Like it's a lot in the hands and stuff. And I talked about it last weekend on the show, but to kind of explain that a little bit more is the 25 Honda is stiffer. The chassis is, the frame. They went stiffer. The last few years, Honda actually went softer on their frames, and then they found out they went too soft, and now they're trying to make it stiffer by, whatever, parts, clamps, because you can't change the frame. So you can, put things on the bike to make the frame stiffer, but it'd be a lot easier if the frame was where you wanted it at, instead of like, okay, it's too soft, now we got to bolt things on to make it stiff. You can do that, and Honda's done that, but what happens is by putting parts on, let's just say they triple clamps or steering stems, yes, you're making the bike more rigid. And if you're chasing the frame and but gussets and all that, you're chasing the frame, yes, it's going to be stiffer. The frame's not going to flex as much. But when you do triple clamps, you do gussets, the problem is that the thing gets really rigid in your hands. And when you watch Hunter, you see, and even Jet this year, you see the bike move a lot. We broke it down on Hangtown when I was saying he was going up the hill. Jet was going up the hill. You could just see his bike kind of hit the bumps and just move around like it was fishtailing a lot. The difference is between his bike and Chase's bike is Chase's bike, Anderson's bike, it just moves slowly. Like it gives more. Like even if it moved just as fast, I just think like it has a little bit more subtleness to it, the double D effect a little bit. And I believe the reason that is on the Honda and why that thing is a little bit more rigid is because of they're trying to make the frame rigid. They're trying to, because they went too soft stock or whatever, like they're trying to do it by gussets and all that. So it's like accomplishing one thing because it needs to be stiffer. The bike doesn't work as well when the frame's soft. How you do that, because you can't change the frame, you do it in all these other ways. But there's a flip side, just like heat. There's a flip side to that coin. If you got me pinned in, and I got to make a move, I won't hesitate. He said something like that. Got to be quick on my feet. Where I got to be all the time. You know what I mean? Whatever. So by doing that, there's negatives to it. Well, the negative, like I said, is you watch Hunter when he went down last weekend. That crash was coming. And it's not. There's going to be certain tracks that the bike works good. Like it works good. Like Paula, I actually believe the Honda was better than the KTM. Like I believe that was part of the reason why Jet was able to win. And then you go to other spots, like it just now seems like the way to set up is like KTM's kind of figured it out, but these tracks, especially like Washougal, I'm sure they're going to work on it. Like that, the bikes is rigid, and sometimes it gets too rigid, and then you lose traction. But most of all, you can't relax. Like he couldn't relax. Maybe he had an arm pump. If you have a shoulder injury or anything like that, like you're gonna have a problem. And so I don't think it's coincidental that what happened to Hunter last weekend and even this weekend when he was riding. Did my light just go out? My light went out. Hold on. Okay, we back. My light. I had to fix my light. Gotta have some lights on here. Sometimes you black, I don't get the white balance. I gotta turn the contrast up, open the vision. So I need lights. So again, the things with the Honda, there's some parts that's negative and positives to it. I think in Supercross that it actually works better. Like there's not as many bumps. Like outdoors, there's bumps everywhere. So a bike that's too rigid, it's kind of like having Supercross suspension on it. Where in Supercross, you can actually get away with it. And only when the track breaks down, like really rough, like for instance, let's go back to Seattle. When that track broke down and it was like a Supercross, but had, ruts and bumps on it like an outdoor track, we saw Jet end up making a lot of mistakes. Well, I don't think it's coincidental that sometimes that when it's like that, it's just harder for them to ride it. Now, Jet, because of his confidence, and since Hunter is a rookie, he's got to figure out how to do that, where Jet just believes that, hey, I've done this before, so just because he's been in this class, he's ridden that bike, and I know it's a little bit different than it was last year, but in the sense, your mind can overcome a lot of stuff. And I think Jet's mind would just be able to overcome your mind's powerful thing. So you would just ride it, where Hunter is starting to figure it out. And because Hunter has some injuries in the past, he's just not going to go to that zone until he's ready to go. Well, we saw he went that way in the first moto last weekend. Like, he actually tried doing it because I think he knew that first race was a big race. After Southwick, his brother being out, Chase is on the roll. I need to just kind of let it hang out. Well, he let it hung out, and it hung out a little too much. Not like McAdoo hanging out, but you know what I mean? Like, he hung it out, and he ends up going down. But nonetheless, like, this first moto this weekend, as I said earlier, I think he played that race differently. It seemed like Hunter got out front, looked back, and, okay, let me say this. I don't know if Hunter did this, but the way his body was, the way it looked like he rode, and once Chase caught him, what he did, this is what it looked like he would, like what happened, because this is what I would do. I do this all the time. So it looked like Hunter got the whole shot, look back, damn, Chase is right there. He's in third place. Okay, I'm going to ride a few laps. Go a little fast, see what happens. See if I can drop him, because if you remember in practice, Chase struggled that second practice. So maybe in his mind that he was like, Hunter's mind, he was like, all right, maybe I got a little pace, because he was struggling in practice. Maybe the bike ain't right? So I'm going to go a few hard laps. I'm going to look back. Damn, he's still there. Okay. I know I ain't going to pull away from him, and I know that I don't want to ride this fast. And I know at the same time, like, Chase, he's going to run this pace the whole time. Like, some guys you just ride with, you just know you're going to run that pace the whole time. Like, Ricky, I never tried to just outlast him, because it was going to be hard to do. Like, I'm going to just make him tired. Yeah, whatever. I figured that out different ways. Supercross, I could. My skills, I could do things. I could jump some jumps. Be easy for me. Make him make chances. Business decision. But outdoors, I was like, nah. Business is closed. It's COVID again. So, back to my point, I think Hunter looked back. He was like, damn, he's still right there. All right, I ain't going to outlast him, and I probably go fast. He'll just go faster, because once the diesel gets going, he gets going. So Hunter slowed down. Hunter he went from like 207, 208 to 211s. And what he was doing was, once he looked back the second time, realized Chase was still there, and Chase passed Aaron, he was like, I'm going to just rest up, and then when he get here, I'm going to go fast, because that's what I used to do. Once Ricky used to catch me, I'd be like, oh, he think he got me. Then I'd be going fast. And what it did, it pissed him off. And there's certain parts of the racetrack, give you a little insight. There's only certain parts of the racetrack that you really got to block somebody. For instance, let's break down this weekend's racetrack. Where you need to go fast at, we'll start at the start straight, right? You go right past the mechanics here. And that part, you got to go fast, like all the way down to that little S corner where Trey Kennard ran me off the racetrack when I was like, I said, I'm good. Like, he was, side note, Trey Kennard was the only person I knew that was crazy as I was that would, like, really dive for it. So when I was going to the corner, I was like, he ain't gonna let off. I got let off, because he really ain't gonna let off. And he didn't let off. I went off the track because I let off a little late. So anyways, that part, that's where you got to go fast at. So as long as you block the dude there, then you go over that tabletop, so ain't nobody's gonna pass you. Then you go into the rollers. The beginning part of those rollers, you got to go fast, because you got to make sure you get the entrance and then get your momentum going, because it gets wide. And if you go too slow, a guy can go around the outside. So once you get halfway through those rollers, as long as you get to the inside and then you get out of the next corner good, the dude ain't going to pass you. Even going down that next straightaway, those sand rollers, you only got to go halfway fast down that road, down those whoops. Make sure you're on the inside, because then it's a switchback. Dude ain't going to pass you. That next little section right there where you have an option on inside or outside, you got to go kind of fast around the inside, hit the catapult, got to go to the inside, make sure the guy doesn't go up. And again, you don't really have to go fast. You get up that hill. Then where you got to go fast again, you don't really got to go too fast. You just got to go down the inside and make sure the dude doesn't get a wheel on you. So he can't pass you on the outside. And as long as you get to the bottom of that corner before you go up Mount Martin, you straight. Get out of that corner, go back to the inside. As long as the dude doesn't get a wheel on you, you ain't got to do too much. Now, where you got to go fast is going down that hill. Because, dude, we saw people go down the outside of people, and then the inside, they can charge down you. So you got to charge down that section. But once you get to the bottom of that corner, that next where the little two rollers where Plessinger fell, you ain't got to go fast there. You ain't got to go fast. You ain't got to go fast over those tabletops. You got to go, you got to kind of scrub a little bit, not lose too much time in the air, but you ain't got to go that fast there. Get up in the corner where we saw Jason Anderson doing flips, and he was like, hey, Siggy, where he did flips and we kept highlighting the flips. Like, you don't even really got to go fast there because dude ain't going to pass you and then that switchback. So, again, all these riders know that. So, for all the people at the house, like, there's points, like, we ride hard, but we ride hard in sections that we know we need to ride hard. And all the riders out there, I'm sorry if I'm giving away the secrets. Like, it ain't like laziness, it's skills. We just know what we need to do when it needs to be done. And that's a skill. And that's sometimes harder than just going for it. So I'm just giving the people an insight to know that when they be like, oh man, he was out of control, he be riding way too hard because, you know, all this pressure. You be like, hell nah, man, I just went fast in that section because I only needed to just beat him there. Because the rest of the track, like, I don't really need to go too fast. And that's on every single track. So each of these guys, they know where they need to go fast at. So my point was, Hunter, once Chase caught him, like, he went fast in those certain parts of the racetrack. And then he slowed down. And the reason you know that is because in those tight parts that I was just mentioning that you don't got to go fast, Chase almost ran in the back of the dude. Like, he almost like ran in the back because Hunter was like, dude, I'm chilling here. I know you can't pass me. And anybody would do that. If Chase wasn't as fast as Hunter, he would have done the same thing. So it's not a Hunter Lawrence or a JS. It's just, that's how you get things done. Like, that's how you get done. And what you try to do, you try to get the dude frustrated because he just caught you easy. He knows he's faster than you, but yet you just go fast enough that he can't pass you. It gets frustrated. You start roosting him. You start cutting him off. Like, not dirtiness. Like, you don't want to, like, kill him, but you roosting him, make him pull his tear-offs, and then get frustrated. And then he might hit the ground. Not because he's riding too hard or you just got a crazy pace, but because he's pissed off that he knows what you're doing and he can't do nothing about it because you just go fast enough that he can't pass you when he's better than you. That's what he did. And eventually, sometimes you just be like, all right, you make a mistake. You don't go fast enough in those sections. And where Hunter messed up was when down in that Mount Martin, he came in that corner. He had a perfect plan going on. Try to go fast. He's right there still. I can't break him. Let him catch me. Once he gets to me, I'm going to go fast. I'm going to be able to relax. And I actually think Hunter had a better chance that first moto because, you know, he was doing that. But in that Mount Martin corner at the bottom of that hill, he stuffed it and he lost his momentum. Damn. Because there was nothing he can do. Like, he couldn't block the whole track. And as I was mentioning, there are certain parts you got to go fast. Well, you got to go fast up that hill. As I said, what did I say? You can't let the dude get a wheel on you, right? You can't let him get a wheel on you. Like, as long as he don't get a wheel on you, you straight. Inside, you don't get a wheel. Well, he messed that corner, and then he lost his momentum, and Chase just rode up beside him. Didn't really have to do too much, and he got a wheel on him. And Hunter was like, man, I'm trying to get him, try to beat him to this corner, but Chase had the wheel in the inside. And if Hunter would have went to the inside, Chase would have just went around him on the outside because he had more momentum. So that's what ended up happening. So Hunter had a plan, and that's what he planned on the first moto, and it just didn't end up working out because he made that mistake. But again, just insights on how these guys, sometimes you just know you don't feel good. Like, we go into the race, our first plan, try to get a whole shot. All right, that's goal number one. But each race, it ain't like, okay, I go as fast as I can all the way through the race. No, there's levels to it. Like, there's literally levels. There's things that, for me, I was like, okay, all right, who I'm racing today? All right, racing against Ricky. All right, that's what I gotta do. Because I don't, like, even if I'm feeling pretty good. Like, if I'm feeling pretty good, all right, I'm a whole shot, and I'm gonna go fast. I'm gonna go fast because I feel pretty good going that pace. So I'm gonna just go fast and see how long, like, maybe I could just outrun him. Maybe he'll end up, them little legs, they'll get kicked over the front end. Like, maybe that's what happened, all right? All right, that don't happen? Like, okay, then I know I can't go this pace the whole time, and I know he can't go this pace the whole time, but he believes he can go this pace, but I know I can't. So I'm going to slow down, and I'm going to go to plan B. Plan B is what Hunter was doing. Like, so each one of these riders, they have certain plans. Days that I didn't feel good at all, sometimes I didn't want to get the whole shot because I like, all right, whatever, you're going to beat me anyway, so whatever. Or some days that I'm like, I got him. So all these guys got plans. Chase got a plan, and when he got in that first moto, things played out for him that he was like, dude, I'm actually pretty good. Like, I know sometimes guys can be in third place, like where Chase was, and know he's faster than Hunter, even if he's losing time. He's like, I know I'm faster. Like, he could be pulling away from me, but yet I know at the end of this race, I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be gone. You can just feel it. You can see how easy it is. And then, you know, usually when guys get out front, they try to go fast. Like, that's their pace. That's why you see rookies, or even the first moto in the 250 class, Haiden Deegan, he got out. And you ever notice a guy who holds shots like that first lap, they get like 2, sometimes 3 seconds, like they be pinning it. That's how fast they can go. Like, that's it. So the first couple laps, when you're in like third place and the dude's out front, if he ain't gone, then you know that's as fast as he can go. Like, at this point, I can run the same pace and I can go faster, but he will not go faster. And so for Chase, he saw Hunter out there. He saw Hunter pull away a little bit, but he was like, Hunter didn't pull away enough. Hunter, I got him. And so it makes him relax, and all the guys know that. So again, that's why I say, when you see some guys, especially younger riders, when they don't, their plan is like, I'm a whole shot. I don't know what to do. They be like gone. They be gone. And then eventually they start coming back. Because those first few laps, that's as fast as they can go. All of us. Like, that's it. Yes, some guys, oh, Jay, I've seen dudes run, they fast lap time at the end part of the race. They have fastest lap for the race at the end. Yeah, that's because they went slow in the beginning. Like, yeah, okay, I can go slow in the beginning and get faster, but like, that ain't, like, if you pull me the whole shot and I'm feeling froggy, the fastest I'm going to be is the first opening laps. And history would say, usually, yeah, I know the track gets rougher, but the track usually don't get that rough to where you can't go that pace. Usually if you're going, like 203s and you get to the end, you could probably do a 203, but usually you're like tired or other things be happening. So you'll see some guys, when the track is, they'll run a 203 at the end of the race, and that'd be the fastest one. And again, it's because of situations, and it's because of what happened in the beginning, saving energy. So nonetheless, things be happening, but Hunter had a plan. It didn't work. And then that second moto, he actually went a different one. He was like, I'm just going to run, because I think he actually thought maybe he could make Chase like fall. He knew that, okay, I don't have the pace to outrun him and leave him, but me just sitting back, he's going to sit back. And Chase is going to, Hunter knew that Chase was relaxing as well, because once Chase passed him, he was gone like 10 seconds. Like, that's a shock to the system. You feel like the dude's got 5 seconds a lap faster than you. So what you need to do is, like, you can't just relax like I did the first moto and play that game. You just need to run as hard as you can, as long as you can, and hopefully that dude falls. That's what he did second moto. And he was going, and that's why at the end of the race, that middle part, Hunter just ran out of gas because the plan changed. First moto, he had more energy. Like, he was doing it. Okay, he ain't coming. I'm going to slow down. Second moto, he's like, I'm just going to run that pace, and hopefully the dude hits the ground, because the other plan ain't going to work. As I'm saving energy, he's saving energy. He's been saving it the whole time. He's like, I got, like, gas, and he's got these solar panels. He ain't paying no electric bill. I'm paying everyone's electric bill. I got all these. I don't even got LEDs in my house. I got the old schools. I'm burning electricity like somebody's burning weight, like up here. So whatever. That's what he was doing. And so I'm just going to go fast, and hopefully he hits the ground. He didn't hit the ground, and that's why he was gone, and that was it. Bye-bye now. So for Hunter, he had plans. Now this weekend, it's a different track. And you also got to remember, too, that Hunter is learning this 450 just like Honda is. KTM's learning it as well, but Hunter is learning how to race a 450 and be in this class. So as much as we talk about, all right, he's gotten beat these last few weekends, hasn't won overall, Hunter is doing hell of well. Like, he's doing great. You just pick him up, fast forward 1 year, put him in the same situation, he'll be a better rider even if you change nothing. Time. So he ain't there, and he's dealing with a dude who's really emotionally bound. Like, Hunter doesn't get too emotional. He's kind of like Tom Vialle. Like, yeah, man. All right, I know I'm ugly. Whatever. I'm still going to whoop your ass. Like, whatever. Like, he don't go up and down. So Chase is the other way. Like, he is emotional. Not like crazy, but they say, like, the emotional roller coaster, like, Chase is on that emotional roller coaster, and he has his ups and downs. Well, dude said, he's so high right now, dude's got nosebleeds. Like, he got a nosebleed because he's on that emotional roller coaster, and it keeps going up and up. It's Everest style. Literally, his body's dying. He can't be that high because, one, he's got so much emotional. He is so confident. He's like, I got nosebleeds. That's the roller coaster he's on right now, and Hunter knows that. Hunter's just like, look, I'm just gonna stay at normal altitude. I'm gonna fly my little Cessna up here. So even if if the oxygen went out, our gas masks, they don't drop. That's where I'm at. I'm just staying even killed. Like I can survive at this altitude no matter what. Where Chase, his altitude go out, they dead. They going to sleep. Night. I can at least survive to get the thing on the ground. Well, next year, maybe he'll get there. But that's because of all the injuries and all that. Hunter is taking his time to go. And that's what he should do. Sometimes, like, he'll just get better, and there'll be races, and you never know. We've seen how crazy things is. So Hunter's doing a great job. And for them, it's pretty good. Now, everybody else, Aaron Plessinger, I thought Aaron was froggy. Aaron's in a great spot because, one, he's Captain America. Like, literally, it was his holiday last weekend, and he was sick, and he got on the podium. I think Aaron is the third best guy, even though the coup's coming. And with Jet being out, that spot's open. So that means there's some bonus money up in there. The babies can get them diapers up in there. You know what I mean? Like, up in there. So I think Aaron believes that's his spot, and I think that is for right now, unless Mr. Cooper keep putting that paddle tire on and he be getting that whole shot. And ironically, speaking of Justin Cooper, wasn't it like last year in the 250 class, like he only ran the paddle tire because he wanted to get his start? Well, it's interesting to watch him, like, he runs a tire that works better on the racetrack and not the paddle tire. Well, last year was the opposite because, again, he knew for me to win this race, I need to be out front. I think in the 450 class, it's a little bit different for him. He knows, like, I probably ain't going to be that fast. I'm not fast enough where I can just outrun these dudes like I could in 250 class, but I'm pretty good in shape. My bike works pretty well, and I want it to work well on the racetrack because Chase does his thing. If Hunter's doing his thing, I think sometimes, like, if I'm in the race and my bike works pretty good, I got good tires that I actually probably maybe can beat Aaron, and I can outrun these other dudes. I can catch them. Where in 250 class, I think it was different. He's out front. I want to get the whole shot. So, Justin Cooper, good job. I don't know why I went in that tantrum, but I wanted to say that tantrum. But Aaron Plessinger, he was feeling froggy. He went down, and he's in a good spot because, one, his teammates killing it. So when the vibes on the team, we saw how it was in Supercross. When the vibes going the other way, then you're like, dang, oh, your bike's off too. Your bike, it don't work too. Yeah, mine's saying. It's like my son, the young one. He's a parrot. The older one, he be like, I ain't hungry. I be like, watch this. I ain't hungry too, Daddy. I ain't hungry too. Older one be like, I'm going to jump off the roof. I want to jump off the roof too, Daddy. I want to jump off. Man, I had a bad dream last night. Oh, I had a bad dream too. Man, I did this. And he elaborate. And that's what Aaron Fletcher, like, Chase doing good. And he's happy he's doing his thing. But when Aaron's feeling happy, like, he's doing good. And he's like, yeah, elaboration to the story. But that's just Aaron Fletcher. That's how he is. So, nonetheless, like, he's got the stash. He's got the mullet. And, yeah, if I saw him in Chickasaw County or somebody else and I didn't know it was Aaron Fletcher, I'd be scared. I'd be like, hey, lock him up. We in the wrong hood, baby. We in the wrong hood. I don't know if they like me up in here. But I do know Aaron. And Aaron is Aaron. So, we be cool. Thank God. Because like I said, I'd be thinking him in a pickup truck. I'd be like, oh no, where we at? I swear, it's done. It's the new age. That doesn't happen anymore. But anyway, just joking around, not really, just kidding. But Aaron's doing good. He is third best guy, but Mr. Cooper is coming as well. But as I was saying, when the teammate bike is doing pretty good, your bike is doing pretty good. And Aaron's just happy. He's rolling through, and his attitude just makes him deadly. So, but Justin Cooper's in third in points, and that's crazy to think because you would just think Aaron's. But nonetheless, it's about Chase Sexton and Hunter Lawrence, and those guys, they're kind of above the field at this point. All that being said, Hunter had a plan, and he tried executing that plan, and it didn't work, but that's okay. He's still right there. Things can happen, things cannot happen, but he's doing solid. But this guy, he came in, he lost the first race. And second moto, the first race, he was there, and then he ran off the track. And it seemed like same thing that was happening the other times against that Jet Lawrence dude. Then he came out, and then we heard a boom, sonic boom. That was Jet Lawrence coming up short. Changed the game. But then Chase was like, all right, whatever. Came out second moto after he won the first moto and dominated, blacked out. Night, got possessed, dominant. Then he showed up at the third race, and we were like, well, what happened? What happened? He was going to play that game where I'm going to just relax. Those dudes took off from him, and then he couldn't catch him. And then second moto, he was like, I got to go fast right now. And then he almost took out Justin Cooper's ass, and then he was down. So we were like, whoa. Then he showed up at the other race. So my whole point is, people, Southwick happens. Dominated second moto. Big for him. Then he goes to Red Bud. Dominates. Hunter kept him strong, but then he dominates second moto. And then he goes this weekend. And the way he won is a guy that ain't like really, he's in the zone. I saw him in the airport this weekend. Like, he had a big smile. We were talking about golf game. We were talking about like just life. It was fun. Like those triple through the whoops. My whole point was, dude was chill. It looked like he was having fun. And anybody that be winning, they be having fun. Well, all that being said is that we've been saying, oh, Jet Lawrence be winning, Lawrence, oh yeah, Chase got one, then it was like Lawrence. But right now, this dude's got something, and he's got 5 motos in a row. He's got 2 overalls in a row, and he's got 2 1-1s in a row. And I believe it's going to be many, and it's fun. He's consistent. He feels good on the motorcycle. The team loves him. He loves the team. Everybody loves him. He's got the chin. He went that to the dark hair. What he's got again, please hit it for him.
Suntan, next on fire.
Yes, he got it. Suntan, yes, that's what he got. Dude's riding solid. Now, Hunter can go out and win this weekend. Jason Anderson can go out and win this weekend. But most likely, I believe Chase Sexton's probably going to go out and win this weekend. But nonetheless, enjoy it while we here. Chase Sexton, good job. And I don't know why I keep calling you by your first and last name. It's just a lot easier for me. It seems like Chase too short, so I go Chase Sexton. But Chase Sexton sometimes too long. Makes it just long enough to be awkward. But hell, the way you ride, you deserve. I'm going to call you by Chase Sexton because that's respect, man. Dude, put it on the stage. Chase Sexton, good job. Keep it rolling, kid. Hunter Lawrence, keep doing your thing. Everybody else doing your thing. Susie, Daddy, y'all do your thing. Rachel, yes. Sorry, I can't. I don't know why I messed up. Rachel, no. Siggy, sorry. Okay, now the 250 class. Let's get into this. Chance Hymas did what Chance Hymas can be doing that second motor last weekend. Chance Hymas went out and he was good. Looked like Robbie Bernard, Kevin Windham, Jet Lawrence had a baby. And it was Chance. Said that. Baby, Chance. But Chance doesn't believe that he is good as he is, which gives the other guys chances, right? Gives them chance. We saw Far East Coast come up, but he thought he had a chance. But Chance shut that down. So going into this weekend, it was confidence. I thought this track was set up. It looked like an Oklahoma, and I know he was training with Renards, and it's a Florida track. All these guys, they like the soil here. Millville is cool. So you just felt like, Chance was going to keep that momentum rolling. Goes in that first practice, over a second faster. Like, these guys got no chance. Like, right? But the kid's young. The kid's going to have to figure out that he's good as he is. And for whatever reason, it just takes time for all these guys. Like, nothing wrong with that. Just give the kid a chance. Like, he'll be there. So, second practice, kind of struggled a little bit. First moto, I was like, all right, cool. Like, he's right there. But Haiden hold shot it. Well, just strictly talking about Chance, I think Chance got in the point to where he didn't get a good start, but then he came up. And because Haiden was where he was, and where the moto was and how far they was in the moto and the guys that was going, I don't think Chance felt like he really had a chance. And so he was rolling, and then he just lost a bunch of time. Like, I don't think he crashed. Actually, no, he didn't crash. He was I saw his lap times. Maybe he made a mistake or whatnot, but he just slowed down. And then when Haiden went down, Chance was too far back to have a chance. So I believe with him, it's, again, getting that confidence and believing. I don't think he believes at the point that what happened, what Joe did, he could be in the back, and if he just kept riding, I'm fast enough, I'm better, that I can come from the back and win this race, because he hasn't done that yet. So my whole point with him, it seemed like that first moto, like, he was solid, and then sometimes you just realize that, hey, I'm not going to catch that dude. I know that dude ain't going to be fading, and all right, I'll just settle. I'm going to just ride around, just get my 5th place or whatever it is, and then all hell breaks loose. That guy falls, but you're too far back. And then you see the whole battle of that 250 class lay out in front of him. So I'm sure he kind of lost that first moto. And then the second moto, he gets a start. And it could have been like the second moto last weekend with the craziness of the rain and all that. And then he loses front end and then gets his foot caught in Hayden's wheel. And then he rode. And then he realized that, something's not right. Something's not right. And so he was like, that was the end of my chance. I'm going back to the pit. So luckily, I don't think it's as bad as what we thought it was. And considering that he had a knee injury, so I actually thought maybe originally, I'm like, okay, hopefully I saw him get off because our truck, a booth was right in front of the Alpine Star Medical. So I saw how he hopped off the bike, and he kind of looked like Eli Tomac last year when he popped that Achilles. Like some people you look at, you like, don't even think. So whatever it was, he hurt. So I was like, man, maybe it was that knee. I know he has a torn ACL. Maybe he like fully tore, but it didn't look good. But luckily for him, I don't think things was as bad as we all thought it was, and he thought. So it gives him a chance for next weekend and when he comes back. But nonetheless, he slid out. He got it caught in the wheel. Then adrenaline went out. He realized it was hurt, and then that was out. And then we heard the comments from Haiden, which I'll just say that for him. But Chance is fine. Chance is good. It's a big blow to the title, but it was going to be a long shot anyway. But the way things are rolling, you just never know. So he'll be back, and I think just like Hunter, you put him in this spot next year, he's going to be a better rider, and maybe those guys don't have a chance, right? But the 250 class this weekend, I felt like Haiden Deegan didn't lose anything. He had an off weekend. I wouldn't even say he had an off weekend. I don't think he had an off weekend. This is what I think happened. I think Haiden rode like he was riding. First moto, like he rode good. He did his Haiden charge up the field. And he got to Master Pool because he's Master Pool, and he did a masterful job. And he just did it a few weekends ago. He was able to hold Haiden off. But Haiden put his charge, he did his thing, and he just ran out of time. I would say the one difference is because Hayden's got a points lead that when he does his thing, even like he did that first moto last weekend or in Red Bud, there's only a certain chance that he's going to take. Like, he ain't going to let it all hang out, where I believe like in the beginning part of the year, like even the second moto at Hangtown when he went down and he knew he didn't want Tom Vialle to like win, he got up and he was taking all kind of chances. Like, I don't think he would do that with his points gap. So my whole point was, I think Haiden rode like Haiden. Come find out he was sick. So that second moto, I think Haiden got in. He got a bad start. He stalled it. Then he almost crashed. And then at that point, because he was sick, people look at it as like, okay, wow, man, he had an off weekend. But in reality, like, Haiden was just coming up. And when you don't feel good and you almost have some near misses and you got the points lead, sometimes you're just like, all right, look, I'm just gonna ride this thing out, which makes people like, what's going on? Because normally you come up to the field and you didn't do it. So, what's wrong? Pressure. Nah. I think Haiden just like realized like, I'm sick. And like, look, whatever. Like, he got a chance to win this race, but they ain't got no chance in the championship. Well, Haiden heard all that, right? Haiden heard people say he's whatever. He had an off weekend, blah, 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 blah. And one thing with Haiden Deegan, he don't want nobody to think they got a chance. Like, clearly, he does not want anybody to think they has a chance. And he ain't afraid to tell you, you ain't got no chance. He thought he had a chance. He ain't got no chance. He ain't got no chance. And then the dude didn't really have a chance. But anyway, so he'll let you know. But this weekend, because he heard all that, he wanted to come out and shine on him. Well, he came out that first moto, and you saw him hold out, hanging out, and it wasn't Hayden-like, right? Like, he fell. Well, he fell out and leading before. Something was different. Well, Hayden's in a tough spot because he wanted to come out and slap these fools across the face, let them know, I'm here. This is my class. And he partly was doing that. But just like I said, when he caught Master Pool at first moto Red Bud, the back of your mind, I got a pretty good points lead. And the only way I can lose a championship if I do something stupid. So I don't really want to take that chance. So I got to back it down. Well, but I want to send that message. How can I send that message if I don't got enough money to send that message, right? Like, I'm going to the store, and to send the thing is $100, and I know I only got 97.
I'm kind of stuck. Well, that's where he's at. He wants to go out and send that message, but he knows the championship's right there. So he's going to be trying to go too fast and then realize he'd be like, oh, man. And I think it puts him in a weird spot. But Haiden didn't really care. He's young. And because he's young, he might try to look in underneath the glove box and find a couple dollars and still try to send it. You might even ask the postman, hey, can I borrow $1? I'll get you back later because I do want to send this message. Well, he was out there trying to try. He was doing this thing. And he saw Levi there. And you know Levi was motivated. Levi, they worked on the motorcycle. They made some improvements. And just like Joe Shimoda last year, once they made improvements, and just like Levi this year, when the dude's comfortable, we saw him in Supercross, dude rode away from everybody easy all day long. No problem. Like, whatever. I said black leopard, green leopard, Levi Kitchen. So the Kitchen went from being closed to wide open. But back to Haiden, I think it was frustrating for him. So when he hits the ground, he gets up, does Haiden things. I'm going to go, And then he realizes, wait, I'm not catching these dudes like I could. Like, it's not as easy. So was that because they just picked up the pace? Was that because he was like nervous? Or was that because he realized that, like, okay, I made a mistake. One, I can't do this again because I don't want to lose heaps of points. I don't want to lose all that. And Far East Coast, he coming. Joe Shimoda, he coming. And Tom Vialle, like, I don't want him to beat me. And then Levi, like, I don't want him to beat me. Shoot, I don't want nobody to beat me. I don't even want Haiden Deegan to beat me. And I'm Haiden Deegan. So, but he realized, like, okay, but I do got a points lead and I can't lead. So I think he was actually riding in a weird zone and he couldn't catch those guys. And for whatever reason, he was making mistakes. And then he started going back. He got passed. And I know that was different for him. But what Haiden did was what Haiden did last year. And what made me so impressed with him, most rookies, most young people, like, they get in that spot. They start getting passed. They don't know how to handle it. And so they end up busting booties. They busted. They end up crashing. And Haiden didn't do that. Even some of the veterans out there, like, sometimes we just don't know how to deal with getting passed. Like, like, I mean, we've seen some of the best guys. We've seen Eli. We've seen, other guys, JS, whatever. Sometimes, like, we win in and then we get passed and we end up like 10. Like, we don't even know how to deal with it. Haiden didn't do that. He didn't do that last year, and I was impressed with that because that's usually, it takes a while. You either, like, experience, then you know how to deal with it, and then with that experience, because you got all that experience and you're experienced in winning, then you forget, like, you don't know how to deal with it. So you go from, like, rookie to, like, knowing how to deal with it to, like, then not knowing how to deal with it because you had experience not dealing with it because you ain't used to it so long. So, yeah, whatever. So my whole point was Haiden didn't do that, and he was always there. Well, he did that this weekend. That's why the dude's hard to beat because, look, you might get 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 points this weekend, but you ain't going to get 20. You ain't going to get 20. And for Ryder to always, as aggressive he is and how much he wants to win, it's impressive for him to actually, like, back it back down and realize, okay, I can't turn one mistake until 2. And that's what he doesn't do. And that makes him hard to beat for the championship. And that's where he's at. But all that, just like Chase Sexton, is because of all the confidence and, how he's gotten here and knowing that I built this points lead. And even though, yeah, he might win, and he probably was better than me, and I did try to go fast, and I couldn't pull away from his ass, whatever. I couldn't pull away from him. I did fall. So that means, that's the only reason you won, because I was on the ground. Like, that's what you're going to do. Even though you know the dude was going to get you anyway, whatever, that's what you're going to roll. So he probably knew, like, all right, well, Levi, he can still win, but he only know because I could just say, well, I just fell, right? Because I did fall, and I was out front. Yeah, he might have been catching me, but whatever. I was out front, and then he didn't pass it straight up because I was on the ground. So that's what he could have said. Well, Haiden was in a tough spot. He didn't turn one mistake into 2, and he ended up finishing, I think it was, 3rd. I mean, he still ended up on the podium. They were going back and forth, but it was just different. So we'll see how Washugo, remember, he should have, like, what, a 1-year-old now? Yeah, it's his kid's birthday next weekend, or this weekend, because remember last year he had a baby. I told y'all, I said that kid will never be the same again. Well, he ain't never been right. He ain't right. Something's wrong with him. And it was because once you become a father, you're like, all right, sorry, Debo, you're second on the list. I got to feed my kids, and then I'll feed you kibbles and bits, the dog. Well, that's what happened. So Haiden Deegan, he's getting a lot of slack. slack for right now for what his comments on Haiden, and I'm just gonna stay away from it. I've said like, hey, kid's young, and I think a part of what makes Haiden, he's gonna say some things here and there, and I don't think he saw the video. I don't know why he thought Chance did what he did, but maybe there's history that we don't even know, or maybe that's just mindset. Again, some people that just walk out like guys like Barsha was like that when he was in his young age. You can blow air on him, and you like he just freak out. That's some people. I don't like that. So, but that's what makes him Justin Barsha. Like that's what makes him Haiden Deegan. So maybe just this presence in the air, he does not like it. So. Nonetheless, Chance watched front end, went in Haiden fell, and he thought Chance did it, and he was like, he got him one. But I'm sure once he watched it, I'm sure he was like, oh, that's not what I meant. I mean, wait, I did mean it, but after rewatching it, maybe I don't mean it to say it after this race, because I mean it. I just don't mean it right now, because I shouldn't mean it, because that would be mean. And I don't want to be mean and insensitive, but I'm not sensitive. And you know what? I'm sorry. Really sorry. Next week, maybe I'll mean it. Just not right now. So I think that's what happened. And he said what he said, and he said what he said. And it was all kind of stuff. And you already know what he said. So it is what it is. Kid's young. Kid didn't see the video. He didn't have instant replay. He probably was checking Instagram, hitting all the fans up. Like, hey, what's up? He gonna get one, like, cool, like, wait, no, he didn't really mean that, but still, Haiden did what Haiden does. So he fine, he doing his thing, he fine, especially after this weekend, like, he didn't win anything, and then he rode solid the second moto. I think he was upset, but you knew he was gonna get more points. Now, Tom Vialle had some more mistakes, just like he did the previous time. He rode good the first moto. Same thing with Joe Shimoda. Like, Tom's is going to look at a year as a lot of, like, man, I left a lot of stuff out on the table. But nonetheless, he's your defending Supercross champion in the 250 class. So, dude's doing good. Second year in here. He's actually riding better than he did last year. I think he's even riding better than he did in the Supercross. But just sometimes things don't roll your way. They just don't roll your way. Sometimes when they do roll your way, like Haiden Deegan gonna get off the track after he landed in the first corner, thinking like, oh my gosh, I know Chance is out front because he's the one that went, like, it was in front of me. I went down. Oh man, I'm about to lose all these points. Dead last mud race, or not dead last. I'm in the back of the pack. When things just start rolling, they just roll. All your competition, they just end up off track, right? And you end up like coming back up, and then you end up making a podium, and then on a race that you never won, it's like you won, you gained points. It doesn't make any sense, but it makes sense. And you start feeling like this championship's just meant to be. You just meant to be. So you find, but with Tom Vialle, he's going to be like, man, I lost a lot of points. Like, I should be a lot closer than what I am, but you know what? I'll just keep winning. Joe Shimoda was coming up, and he didn't get off the gate, but then he got off the gate good enough, and then he's starting to realize, like, man, I got to be able to pass. Then he made an aggressive pass that shocked all of us. Like, oh, my gosh. It was like when Ryan Dundee took me out in, 2014, Anaheim 3, I was, like, mad at him, not because what he did was dirty, but because who did it to me. I'm like, you're not supposed to do that. You don't ride like that. You're not aggressive. You're not supposed to make that pass. I'm supposed to go outside and leave this door open all day long, and you're not supposed to take it, even though you should be taking it. And then when you took it, I was mad that you took it because I was shocked that you took it. And I'm like, I would have took it, but that's the way I ride. You don't ride that way. So when Joe went back up the inside, he was like, whoa, wait, what? Did he just get aggressive? Joe, keep doing that. But Joe, the only problem with Joe was that he didn't do that quick enough. More often when he caught up to Levi and those other guys, he got stuck behind him. And again, sometimes I said a lot last year with Joe. I'm like, dude, you got to start knocking down people, just knock them down more and more and more. So they started having that fear. So when you get up to him, like now, the reason Joe has a hard time getting around people because they don't think he's going to do what he did. Like, and he didn't even do anything wrong to Haiden, but they just don't think he's going to do it. So they fight him. They just fight him. They just in your way. Joe was, I would say him and Levi, they were about the same speed, but Levi was out front. Levi crashed, and maybe Levi was a little bit better, but Joe was faster than everybody else. But because Joe had to fight all these dudes because they were not getting out of his way, and, you know, they wasn't. Guys ride Haiden different. You know, some other guys, they ride Haiden. And I'm not knocking on Joe because I thought Joe rode good. But Joe was either just as fast, maybe faster, or right behind Levi. He had a chance to win that race, but yet he ended up fourth. And I think a part of that was because history, and he got stuck behind those guys. So when he made that pass for Haiden, we were like, damn, like, what up, dog? What up? This part, East Coast, whoop, whoop. That's how it was. And then, but he used all that energy, and he started going the wrong way. But nonetheless, Joe's getting better. He's getting better, and it seems like some guys, they need the bike to be better, and once they get it, for whatever reason, we're not going to get into it, but like for whatever reason, it just takes him a little longer to get going. But once he gets going, he like Chase, he be fast, he be good, you know, but he's got to go. Levi Kitchen, though. You just, sometimes you just wonder, like, what happened? Like, where, like when he won, I think it was St. Louis this year, one of those races where he was like, all right, he was cool. And then he just got the whole shot, and he just kept like getting farther and farther and farther and farther and farther away in front. And it just looked easy. And you're like, wait a minute. Wait, I mean, wasn't like Jordan Smith faster than you like last weekend? And yeah, like, didn't they catch you? And then like RJ was like RJ, but when RJ didn't RJ, he was like beating you, and you just like, you were cool. You were like solid, but you weren't like the best. And then all of a sudden you just like, where did that come from? Well, Levi, they worked on the motorcycle. And as I said with Joe, some guys more sensitive with the bike, and I'm not even saying that's what it was, but whatever it was, we expected more like that. But then when he did what he did this weekend, like Levi was going to win that race. Levi went down. Like Levi was going to beat Haiden if Haiden fell or not. Like, I really believe that he was going to get him because Levi was in the zone. And when Levi's in the zone, like, he's like dominant good. Like, he looked like Chase Sexton out there. Like, I mean, not Chase don't dip level right now, but you know what I mean? Like, he can ride away from him. And just thinking Supercross, we were like, okay, did that really happen? And then he did it again. And then he goes, and then he have some of the other races, you like, where that is. So for whatever reason, it happened this weekend. And as I said, he was going to be Haiden in first moto anyway. And Nathan couldn't really do anything, and he shouldn't have done anything because when Levi's on that zone, like, you don't need to be in that zone because you build this big old points lead. Don't go in that zone. Just stay in your lane. Like, don't worry about trying to go down the carpool lane. Don't risk the ticket. If you only got one person, don't risk the ticket. Like, you don't need to get to the school as quick as they can. They can wait. They got after school daycare, whatever. So maybe somebody else don't got that after school daycare, and their kid gonna get kicked out. They're gonna be on the fence, or they're gonna be calling you. So Levi he might get the call. Well, you got the sitter, whatever. So he was gonna get you the first moto anyway. There ain't nothing wrong with that. But Levi was like that, and then the second moto, like, I mean, yeah, he got a bad start, way bad start. Johnny Cochran nephew was out front. Chase Cochran was like, whoop, whoop, whoop. You know, I'd be sitting next to mama, like, she ain't gonna have that. Like, I was like, hey, bro, like, I don't even care. Listen to me. You can be out front all day long, but if you just, like, roll over and let this dude pass you without having some kind of fight, this whole race, even though you can get second, it's going to be worth nothing because all we care about around this place is effort to win, effort to get dead last. Like, it don't matter, but it's got to be that E word up in there. And so you might let him go past. You better go back in on him. Like, try something. I think he was saved. Like, we would have been stoked. Podium. Hell yeah. Like, dude, what's up? But then, you know, we would have had to comment. But, dog, we'd have been like, oh, dog, like, that's tight. That's tight. You got that second place, dude. You out there winning. But, hey, why you let that dude ride around the inside? Like, you know, that would have just happened. But when you came down the hill after he passed you and you had that swap, we were like, all right, cool. That was effort. So that question didn't even come up. Like, we didn't even have to say that because you came in effort. And that was good, kid. Keep doing your thing. But I know mama, like, we've already had some conversation down to, like, some of them races, like, you know, Philly. Things I was said, you know, you heard it. So I heard it. You know you heard it, and you probably heard it again. But we didn't say that this weekend. I saw her in the airport. She was like, yeah. I was like, whoop, whoop. The boy had some effort. He came down there. He swapped. He swapped. We ain't got to worry about it. Yeah, Levi got him. He was good. Like, what do you expect? He's a rookie. I mean, Levi, he's veteran. He know how to win. Sometimes when Levi want to feed everybody, he can feed the homeless. It's free food. Free food. You just getting up here. You still on Uncrustables, right? Levi's got the whole kitchen. So, but right now, that Uncrustable, it was effort to be made. So, Casey, you did your thing, kid. And for reals, honestly, where you came from like a couple years ago, when I saw you in those whoops at Eldon, I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You know, I mean, this kid's got to shift up. Like, he's got to work on it. Like, you got to figure it out. And you figured it out. And then you figured it out last year in that motor compound. Like, when you were out there dominating, I was like, damn, all right, Casey out there. Look at Casey out there. Like, all right, you know, if the glove don't fit, let it quit. Like, that's how it was. But then you did your thing. Now, so you blown, kid. You blown. Keep your head up. Keep doing your thing. Just effort. But Levi, back to Levi. Levi was good. He came by. Dude was all, and just what I was talking about with Hunter and Sakamoto. Like, sometimes you just go fast and hopefully the dude just crash. Like, you know, that's what Casey was doing. You were trying to like roost him, and you got to take all techniques, do whatever you got to do. But Levi was not to be denied, and Levi was making mistakes and all that. But Levi was just like cool. Like, it don't even bother me. Sometimes the dude can be all out, all fast as he can, but he make mistakes, but it don't really bother him because he's like, I'm in the zone. And when I'm in the zone, I don't care. Jerome in the zone. Chase Sexton, Sakamoto, hanged out in the zone. Like, he almost died 50,000 times. He could have been in the zone. He was in the zone this weekend. He could almost die whenever. But it don't bother him because he don't remember because he was in the zone. Why? He blacked out. So, Levi was in the zone. Because he knew going next weekend, you got to show up at the hometown crowd. Ain't nothing better than coming up with a 1-1. Just dominated. So Levi Kitchen did his thing, and he fed everybody in Minnesota. By the way, the Minnesota fans, y'all awesome, dude. Like, straight up, y'all awesome. I couldn't get out of that place. I mean, I know it's legal over there. I know that. And you can tell it's legal over there. But, man, for real, y'all represent every time you come. And it was the first time I came since last time I was there. And that was a few years ago last time I was there. So I came back for the first time because last time I was there was the last time I was there. And y'all represented. Y'all showed the brother love. I couldn't get out. I was trying to get out. I was hungry. But I had to sign the autographs for my fans. Why? Because y'all was like, hey, what is show at Bubba's World? All that. And cool, man. You're awesome. You're awesome. I was like, man, that's cool. So thank you very much. But Levi, you fed all the people up in Minnesota, Rochester. They happy. Ain't nobody hungry up there. And then you're going back to where the kitchen was open. It was free last year. So you know you're going. You have to deal with that kid's birthday this weekend. But I know you'll be able to do your thing. Levi Kitchen, please hit it for him.
Suntan, next on fire.
Yes. The kitchen, it was a brand new kitchen. And then it got burnt down. But you remodeled it, and now it's back open. And it's nice. It's nice. It's a beautiful kitchen. Free food for everybody. Good job, Levi. Seriously, good job. All right, people. Well, that's it. That's it from this weekend. What we saw last weekend, just in a different way with Chase Sexton. Dominant. Dudes, he's probably still like 60%. 60%. It's like Florida's weather. It could be 60% chance to get rain. But for Hunter's hopes, there's a 40% chance that it doesn't rain. So keep your head up. Keep doing your thing. Chase Sexton, dominant. And Levi, there is no one hungry in Minnesota. And that is thanks to you. Take your booty down. Hey, look, you want to supply the food for Haiden this weekend? Serve him up. I know it's his kid's birthday, and you can serve him a plate. You can bake a cake. It's going to be in Levi's house. You ride like that? Psst, psst. I want to eat that food too. Save me a slice of that cake. So you do your thing, Joe Shimoda. Like, hey, you riding good. You starting to get off the gate. Now you got to keep passing like you did Haiden. Hey, you did good. You didn't see the comments, like whatever. You still got your points lead. You got a bigger points lead. Now you got to raise. I think you got to raise. You don't even have to like show up next weekend. You'll still be the red leader, but you're going to show up this weekend anyway. And I know you're going to feel pretty good because last year, it's your son's birthday or your kid's birthday. I don't know if you're a girl or boy, whatever it is, but you did good. Haiden Deegan, you good. All right. That was it. That was it from Spring Creek, Lake Minnetonka, home of Purple Rain, home of KTM, Chase Sexton, which is the new modern day hometown boy Ryan Dungeon. What up, Ryan? I need some coffee, bro. You still got the coffee? I know, like, we were going to go out to dinner. I got caught up with TV, so sorry about that. But give me some coffee, bro. I need some coffee. Need some coffee. Hey, I need a sitter, too. I ain't see no notes. Anybody leave me some letters? Like, y'all thought I was playing, like, for reals. For real. Like, you hear anything? Nope. That is a good thing, because I don't hear anything, and that's usually not a good sign. So that was it for Minnesota. Well, y'all saw what y'all saw, and I need to go check on these fools because I don't hear anything, and that's not good. See y'all next week. Bye.